I finally got my hands on the MacBook Neo, and I don't want to spoil this video. I probably shouldn't say this up front to keep you watching, but after using this laptop, it is going to be hard for anyone to compete, including Apple. Now, I have reviewed a lot of Macs on this channel, so it probably shouldn't have surprised me when I opened up the box and finally got my hands on the Neo that the build quality on this laptop is literally just as good as the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro. And yes, that surprised me, because when we talk about $600 laptops, we expect them to be built cheaply with lots of plastic, creaky builds, flexing keyboards, and weird, ugly design choices that the Neo does not have. And what I love about the Neo is that this isn't just like a reskinned MacBook that's cheaper, like Apple does with a lot of their other cheaper products. Like, this actually has its own unique identity in more ways than I thought. Obviously, the colors on it are the biggest indicator, right? Like, they are quite different than the typical MacBook, especially the citrus color I have with the color match tinted keyboard. It really does give off a fresh vibe that makes it feel very new. Even with the form factor, I wasn't expecting a huge difference here because there really isn't a giant difference in size dimensions between the Neo and the MacBook Air, but it's enough that I certainly noticed it even before I put them side by side. And when I did, I realized that this is the smallest Mac laptop that Apple has made since the 12-inch MacBook when we're looking at the overall physical footprint. Again, I don't know what I was expecting, but it really was a shock to physically hold the Neo, rest my palms on the aluminum palm rest, and feel the same keyboard underneath my fingertips, the same one that I have been using to type on my $7,000 Mac Pro, and then realize that I'm getting that same exact experience in a $600 laptop. Now, you're a Greg's Gadgets viewer, so of course, you are pretty, handsome, beautiful, dare I say, drop-dead gorgeous. A person with a great hairline, minimal wrinkles, and just exuding charm. And you're also very, very, very smart. So you know that there's compromises for a laptop to hit a $600 price point. Shall I list the cost-cutting measures of this MacBook? Okay, I will. It only has 2 USB-C ports, and the bottom one is literally so slow that if you plug anything into it, Apple will literally warn you with an on-screen indicator. It doesn't have a backlit keyboard. There's no green indicator light for the 1080p webcam, just a weird icon in the menu bar. And the 256GB model does not have Touch ID. It does have a slower SSD, and yeah, the trackpad is a physical clicking one. Most of Apple's modern-day MacBook trackpads are haptic, but you can click it anywhere, which is cool. It's not like a dive board mechanism. It clicks no matter where you tap it. And it's still glass, so it's super smooth for gestures and scrolling. Still probably feels better than any other trackpad in its price range. I'm pretty confident in saying that. And even something I was expecting to hate on this Mac is something that after using it, I kind of feel totally fine with. The display. On paper, it's a lot worse than my MacBook's Pro display in every conceivable way. It has a lower 60Hz refresh rate, there's no true tone, it has less brightness, it lacks the excellent mini LED panel, which gives the MacBook Pro more contrast and deeper black levels, and it doesn't even have a P3 wide color gamut display like a MacBook Air has. And yes, that's all true, right? Side by side, I will pick the MacBook Pro display anytime, but it also wasn't as big of a difference as I thought, and it doesn't make the display look ugly or like bad quality missing those features. The display is more than fine, and I think the resolution is probably the best you can also get at its price point. Like, it just really does look like a good Mac display. It doesn't even look like, like how the base model iPads aren't laminated, so there's like an extra glare to it. Yeah, that doesn't have this. So the display quality here is actually really, really good still. I was more upset with the speakers. I actually think that's the area where you'll notice a difference if you're used to MacBooks. Like, the MacBook speakers cannot hold a candle to the ones found in the MacBook Pro. They don't sound as good as the ones in the MacBook Air. And out of all the compromises Apple made, these side-firing speakers are kind of like the only little hint that you aren't getting the full premium experience. And I think that's what Apple does so well here. The overall build of the Neo, there's certainly cuts here, but they are small cuts that don't ruin the overall premium feeling of using a MacBook. This still feels like a MacBook. Heck, it still even smells like a MacBook. Don't judge me. If you've ever opened a new Mac before, you know that smell is intoxicating. Of course, the area where you would obviously expect to find the biggest compromise is with performance. And it is the thing that right now I think people are probably the most concerned about if they're looking to purchase this laptop, because they are fearful that it comes with an iPhone chip, an A18 Pro with just 8 gigabytes of memory. Now, I've been playing with this machine for about a full day now, so I haven't been able to test everything I do on this machine, but from what I've tested so far, I can tell you that maybe you just don't have to worry, because not only can the Neo handle basic web browsing, documents, playing music, watching video with multiple tabs, all while multitasking, but I could also jump between editing a 4K video timeline in Final Cut Pro to editing a photo back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, all with just 8 gigabytes of memory pretty smoothly. Like, I didn't manage to break it, and I was kind of trying to break it a little there. In fact, if you're watching this video, well, my plan is to edit it directly and fully on the MacBook Neo. So maybe Future Greg can tell you a little bit more about that experience. Hello everyone, Future Greg here, and I have come from the future to tell you about how powerful the MacBook Neo is. Okay, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna be clear and concise because this is actually really impressive. So you can see I have edited the entire video up until this point and obviously afterwards for the MacBook Neo. Full 4K video on my YouTube channel. I'm not the most complex video editor in the world, right? Like, this is a pretty simple project, like maybe 3 streams of 4K on top of each other, adjustment layers. I think I threw in a title in this video, but it did it, right? Like, this is a machine where people said you would not be able to video edit. And I would say the performance of the A18 Pro, and this kind of even surprised me as I was working with it, was better than my experience even with the M1 machines. So I'm saying this is better for video editing than an M1 Mac, at least with the same 8 gigabytes of memory. Did I experience any issues with it? There were a couple of times where I was video editing and I got like the warning, like, you have dropped frames because, you know, but that's it, right? Like, it's like a second inconvenience. So can I edit a 4K video on the MacBook Neo? I certainly can. Can you edit a video on the MacBook Neo? If it looks like my projects, I'm sure you can. If you're editing movies for Hollywood, you know you're not using this to edit, right? So it doesn't matter. But yes, this just goes to show you this is very impressive for the price point. Good job, Future Greg. You are a very handsome individual, and you are also very smart, just like our viewers. Even gaming, something you wouldn't really expect to do on any Mac, and probably would never expect to do it on the Neo, could run games. Like, I ran The Sims 4. People in my comments are always asking me if a Mac can run Sims 4. The Neo can run Sims 4, so I guess any Mac can run The Sims 4. If you like The Sims 4, I'm not judging you, but there was some questionable content on my screen while I was playing it. I am judging you a little bit. And I even ran the benchmark for Cyberpunk. Now, these were on the lowest optimized settings for the A18 Pro. But hey, it pretty much got 30 FPS on an iPhone chip-powered laptop where I didn't even really expect this game to run fully. So that's kind of crazy. Now, testing these powerful applications is basically to demonstrate that the Neo is going to be fine. It's going to be fine, not only just for students, but really for most people. And that is what's really exciting about a laptop like the Neo. It isn't just an affordable laptop for basic tasks. It's a laptop that is far more capable than people have been giving it credit for. I can see a lot of people getting this laptop just for like basic tasks, but maybe then they'll get like the creative urge to edit a photo or create some music, maybe even make your own YouTube video, and then you'll open up iMovie or download a free trial of Apple Creator Studio, play around with some of these creative or professional apps, and actually make something with your computer. And can you do it with the Neo? You absolutely can. Will it be the fastest? No. Will there be bottlenecks? Of course there will be, but I have worked with more underpowered machines than this at the start of my YouTube career and have come out the other end unscathed. Like, if I could pick between this MacBook Neo and the Intel iMac I started on, I would pick the Neo any day of the week. And the craziest realization I've had about the Neo, now that I've used it, is why hasn't anyone else besides Apple done this before? Why has every other PC manufacturer forced users on the lower end to use and accept these super cheap laptop builds? Because Windows laptops and Chromebooks have been at this price point and in this market space forever, since the dawn of time. Okay, maybe not the dawn of time, but they've been in it for a while. And they've built up a reputation that for a laptop in this $500 to $600 price range is basically junk. Users expect that experience to be junk. The people reviewing these laptops expect that experience to be junk. It's almost like these manufacturers just gave up, or maybe didn't even try in the first place, or maybe just don't care about their users and just expect them to use these crappy feeling laptops. Well, no more. You don't have to use a crappy laptop in this price range. You can get the Neo. It's why I think so many people dismiss the Neo so early. They expected a $600 laptop to be junk, not only in its build quality, but in its capabilities as well. And it's just not that. It's why it's not only going to be hard for people to recommend other PC laptops in this price range now, it might actually be hard to recommend stepping up to the MacBook Air, unless you are a power user. And I can't believe I'm saying that. I can't believe I'm calling MacBook Air users power users. Yes, if there's something I listed in this video that is a deal breaker, don't get the Neo. Or if you need more than 512 gigabytes of storage, or more memory, or more performance for video editing, photo editing, coding, faster ports, the ability to connect to multiple external displays, then you should start with the MacBook Air. And if that still isn't enough for you, you should go for the Pro. But for everyone else, they should probably just get the MacBook Neo. This is a fantastic laptop. So far, I am really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to using it more. So let me know in the comments below, what do you want to see in a future video about the MacBook Neo? And if you found this video helpful, consider using my affiliate link to buy a MacBook Neo. And if you did buy a MacBook Neo, let me know what you think of it so far. Are you enjoying it? And hey, make sure to get subscribed because I have a video coming up very soon that I think you'll find useful. All right, that's it for me. I'll catch you in the next one. You know what? You guys really are beautiful. Look at you. I can't believe how well put together my audience is. Kind of like the MacBook Neo. I'm just saying.